So, apparently 75% of people polled, of 32,000 on YouTube, would rather have Ray Allen on their team than Paul Pierce. Maybe the logic is everyone rates himself as a pretty good point guard where Ray Allen might space the floor better than Paul Pierce would for them. Something like that. But I was just shocked that people think that Ray Allen's better than Paul Pierce. Ray Allen's a good player for memory, but Paul Pierce, I actually have like top 5 all time as far as talent and impact on the game. And so I just thought I'd take this opportunity to break down why I think that. Game 4 of the 2008 NBA Finals, the first year that Ray was with the Celtics. He was aged 32 in this season, and Pierce was 30. So Allen's a little bit older, but I'd say they're both in their 30s, both similar, probably physical ability or like conditioning. Like it's not like Ray was like 38 and Pierce was 28. Like they're both kind of still in their athletic prime somewhat. So I don't think you can take that into consideration as to why Ray might be inferior to Pierce in this video.
Get 2 in a row.
Alright, so I think we'll just watch Ray first. Leave the best to last. Maybe we can watch both, but... What kills me when I watch this is seeing the ball in Rondo's hands so much. Like, Rondo, decent enough player, but gosh damn, like, you've got a Hall of Fame talent in Pierce on your team. I don't care if you're the designated point guard. Man, that was a nice drive. I don't care if you're the designated point guard. Just have the ball in the best player's hands, and I just have to watch Pierce sort of stand around a little bit too much for my liking. So, nice pump fake dribble with the left, and nice finish at the rim. So, Ray Allen could do a fair bit. Some interior screens from a guard. That's interesting. So maybe Ray's a little bit lazy on defense where he doesn't reach in and try and affect this drive by Fisher. And what is he doing? I'm a big believer in like positive body language. And if you're checking at your shoes during play, I don't know. Maybe I'm fussy like that. So decent entry pass. And there's Paul just like attacking immediately. He's got to box out the guy there, right? Remember, people think that Ray Allen is... Well, they'd rather have Ray Allen on their team than the Truth. I also feel like Ray's shot selection wasn't ideal. Like, he just jacks this up, has a hand in his face, and it doesn't really work out. And his jump shot is iconic, but I feel like he's starting from a little bit too low for my liking. I think it's best to shoot when the ball's like already like above hip level. And so yeah, this shot just nowhere near. And here he allows an drive through the middle. You want to angle a defender baseline because you can use the baseline as an extra defender essentially. It's harder to finish at the hoop. And if a player can drive inside, it means that they can then dish out to a perimeter player easier. And Kobe exploits that. For the record, I think Kobe's a top 10 talent of all time. No question. Better than Jordan. What the frick was that? Oh, it's just messing around. That's beautiful. So he's doing a good job there. So he's not hustling back as fast as he possibly could. Is Ray. I was going to say he was trying to create some spacing for his teammate and just not helping out on defense. Look, that's pathetic. So Ray might have had a decent enough offensive game, but defensively he just wasn't impactful enough. What's going on here? Doesn't go for a rebound. So am I making my point clear? I just don't think Ray played hard enough to be anywhere on the level of Paul Pierce and as far as like all-time rankings. So that's what just triggered me with this poll. You know, I just want the truth to come out. So now we'll watch some Pierce. Like I still think Ray Allen's probably worth like a max contract. Like he's that good. As an offensive talent, but defensively, I just don't think he was impactful enough. But let's watch Paul Pierce. All right, has his arms wide to try to ward off a potential drive against him. Unfortunately, I just had to watch a fair bit of that. Pierce just hanging on the sidelines. I don't think his usage rate would have been very high. I wonder if they keep those stats at this point. Have advanced stats. I don't think so. What was the difference in their player efficiency rating? Okay, so Paul had a leg up on Ray in PER. What are some NBA players with shockingly high PER? So Andre Drummond is top 10 in the NBA in PER, and I think a lot of people wouldn't think that he's actually ranked as a top 10 player in the league. I think he's really good. Mark Williams is top 20 in the NBA in PER. So is it a stat that really indicates value? But I feel like this is pretty correlated with like MVP rankings and stuff like that. So a lot of people seeing stats like PER and saying, okay, well, they must be great players then. I really discourage people to do that. Like, Day'Ron Sharp is top 30. I just think stats are for people who didn't watch the game, and they're often a lazy person's way out, just like understanding the game and what a player brings to the table. So there's Paul being active defensively. Probably could have sunk a little bit lower to try and guard at the rim there. I'd like him to wave his hands to try and get the... That was a nice move by Perk. I'd like him to wave his hands to try and emphasize that he wants the ball a little bit more. So this is where I think I might like Pierce, is that he's sinking quite low and leaving a three-point shooter out here open, but Pierce understands that team defense try and limit layups as a priority, because it's, even if you're a great shooter and you're wide open, it's harder to make that shot than a wide open layup. So he's sinking quite low, and he knows that Kobe's such a huge threat, so it's like he was threatening for a double team. And And here he is boxing out where Ray previously didn't. Doesn't come down with it, but at least he stops like an open layup. Offensive rebound. Right? Communicating on defense. So he's sinking low, helping out his teammate. Stepping in, still getting out to it. Unfortunately, what happened there? How did this break down? Because I thought there was good defense by Pierce. Garnett guards it pretty well. Is it Rondo's lazy swipe that messes it all up? Like, what would a superior player to Rondo do in this situation? He'd probably sink lower and create like a triple team essentially on the drive, and then if Lamar tries to dish it out, then the wings are covered. But instead, Rondo goes for a lazy swipe and isn't like in a position to guard this three. And Pierce closes out okay. Would prefer him not to run past the shooter there. But yeah, I mean, it's just sure probably shouldn't leave a shooter that wide open. Yeah, how many shots would Rondo have taken instead of Pierce? Ugh. He gets the ball away. Ugh. Fact of the matter is, when Rondo was handed the reins of the Celtics when Paul Pierce and Garnett were traded, the Celtics I don't think they made the playoffs. So it's like, I think everyone was expecting Rondo being a championship winning player and like starting point guard on a great team. Is like, okay, well, he might be a star for the Celtics and he'll be the guy who can run the show. But he just wasn't up to it. And I think like we've seen some missed layups and missed shots that might be evidence of why he might not have been up for it. Good hustle by Ray there. There's Pierce taking some time. He's just so smooth. Could have been a foul there because Odom was leaning in on him a little bit. Is that a case where Pierce didn't trust Perkins' offensive game enough to just like dish it off to him? I don't think I've seen anyone run as such a slow stride as Perkins. Like, look at this. He's just labouring up the court. You win some and you lose some. Oh, look at Powell, man. Great player. I'm pretty sure the Grizzlies traded Powell to the Lakers for a bag of chips. I think Rondo's lack of shooting ability really stymied this offense. Come on, KG, box out. See, Paul just knows where the ball needs to be. Like, he sees the double team immediately, and Rondo, I don't know what happened here. Paul really passes this only so that the Lakers can't grab it, and it's just maybe... I mean, look, I'm always going to make excuses for great players, I think, but Rondo needs to be more aware of what's going on and see that this ball might be coming his way and maybe just not cut in so soon. So there's Paul, great closeout. But damn, this guy can shoot. That's automatic. Am I going to pick on Rondo here? Should Rondo be closing out and like Radmanovic might see him in out of the corner of his eye, and like that stresses out a shooter a lot? Who's this dude? Okay, so some subs are coming in. Let's see if Paul can lift the team while the subs are in. So Pierce is like James Booknight, where he's super patient with his three. He doesn't just jack it up too quickly. He makes sure he gets his feet set. And he has a great understanding of spatial awareness where it's like, okay, I'm going to be able to get this shot off. And so he follows through nicely. And, you know, it's not the result he wanted, but it's tough to guard a guy who... Because Pierce could have pump faked that at the last second if Radmanovic really did close out extremely hard. Because he's still got the ball in two hands at this point even. But he trusts his three-point shot enough, and it doesn't go in, but it is what it is. That was just good D by Paul, I think. I have no idea who this player is. I'll give him that, come on.
Oh, he touched my skin.
I would like Pierce to probably be a bit more assertive and try and demand the ball a bit more, as I mentioned, but maybe he's conserving his energy because it's like, you know, fourth quarter, third and fourth quarter is when the stars tend to come out. Kobe was a great passer. I know there's some memes about him not passing in like end of game situations, but he had a great feel for the game. So Pierce patient, surveying, pass the ball where it needs to be. He just needs his teammate to make that shot. See, what's he doing here? Changing his defensive assignment. Anyway, I just thought I'd showcase some of the fundamentals of players that I think are all-time greats. It's just like making the right pass, having a great understanding of team concepts, where it's like if you get the ball and you're double teamed, don't try and force up something. Try and find the open man. And then defensively, it's just don't prioritize just guarding your guy. Have an understanding of where the whole team defense is most vulnerable. And I think Pierce does that to a T. So, yeah, Ray Allen, good shooter, good offensive player, but Paul is just far more impactful, I think, because he's just a guy that you'd rather play with, because you know that he's going to try and find you if you're an open shooter, and you know, if you watch his highlight tapes, he can be a one-man offense too, and defensively, he's going to have your back. That's what it's all about.